I'm even self-conscious about just bobbing to the music because I know I'm off rhythm because of the delay. I know I talk about it every day. Maybe that's just one of my things. Ladies and gentlemen, before you run off and do the rest of your day, do like Raymond Ferris just did and subscribe to the channel and click that bell so that you will never miss a minute of this exciting action. What exciting action is that? Says the person who's never seen this before and is somehow still mesmerized and watching. Who are you anyway? Well, I'm Bob Doyle. I'm the host of this show, and that's my name. And as the singers are declaring, it is the Bob Doyle Show. And we're very happy to have you here, and we hope that you'll stay here forever and ever. All right. So look, before we get started, let's say hello to the people who are in the room, you know, like Sarah and Leanne. No, that didn't take long. I don't know what I gotta do. You know, I know that I'm very squirmy. I watch these things sometimes. Not because I want to, you know, it's for critical purposes. It's for a layman wouldn't understand. Don't forget, again, subscribe and click the bell. Look, I know you're not sure why yet. Just trust me on this one. Boy, you're going to be sorry if you don't. I don't mean that in a threatening way. I'm a very friendly person. Ask anybody here, you know, like Sarah and Leanne. We're waiting for the rest of the group to shuffle in. While we do that, I'll ask you this question. You know, there's little disappointments in life that are like, oh, so disappointing. I'll give you an example, and then I'll move right on while Kathy gets situated. How many times have you bought shampoo only to find out at the critical moment, you know what I'm going to say. That's right, conditioner. And there's that moment, like first of all, you don't necessarily read it on the label, although that's happened plenty of times when you have that dough moment. But more often, you squeeze it out and it doesn't quite register. There's something, it just isn't, you're thinking about other things. And then you put it in your hair and you go, oh, crap. I just bought a whole big bottle and I was out of shampoo. Now what? Now, here's what I want to say to you. That didn't happen to me today, but it has happened to me in the past. I thought of it today because I started a new shampoo bottle. Is this too intimate? All right, one moment, please. We're not on camera right now, are we? Okay. You know, I was realizing this morning that when I read your comments here, like Leanne and Sarah, right? When I read their comments, because I know their voices from working together with them, I automatically put their voices to what I'm reading, right? That makes sense, doesn't it? I mean, right? Although I have to admit that sometimes Sarah will post something in a way that Dawn would, and I hear Dawn's voice where Sarah's should be. For example, right up here at the very beginning, when she says, ooh, are we going down to the kitchen? Potentially spoiling the surprise. The whole ooh thing, that's very Dawn to do as well. Now, I've known Dawn longer, so Dawn, you know, Sarah. Who am I talking to? All right. But anyway, so I hear your voices. But now Irma's voice and Kathy's voice, I know Jim's voice too. Although I gotta say, I probably couldn't, I've got a general idea. I put a voice to you. I don't know how accurate it is. But with Irma and Kathy, what have I got going on up in there? I mean, seriously, because we do it. You know, you're reading, if you read a book and you read dialogue and you've got some sort of imaginary voice going, right? You know, think about this. It's my job to think about this stuff. Who am I? I'm Bob Doyle. I'm the host of this show. Don't let the screaming bother you. Be sure to subscribe and tell all your friends and neighbors to do the same. Click that bell so you'll be notified every time we go live, so that you can get more of this exciting action where we talk about the voices in our heads. That's right. Oddly, that is a lot of what I talk about day to day. Because even in my law of attraction world, right? Hold on. Do we have a moment for... Every day, we wake up with a reality in our head. This reality determines the actions we take, the conversations we have with other people and ourselves. If our reality is filled with limiting thoughts and beliefs, so will our actions be, as my grandmother used to say. Actually, I'm not sure she ever said that. I think I always wanted her to say it because I thought it would be cool for me to later say that, and then that's what my grandmother used to say. I had other things I tried to get her to say as well, like, don't let the cat in there, you'll regret it. I thought that'd be a great catchphrase, but she wouldn't do it. She would have no part of it. One day I tried a Grandpa and realized he wasn't around anymore. So I went back to Grandma and said, come on, Grandma, I got one more for you. And she said, okay, what is it, you little dork? That was her nickname for me. Oh, Grandma. Anyway, I said, all right, how about this one? Spoons, spoons, spoons. She was not impressed, nor did she take it on as a catchphrase. And that's why I work here. Okay. So I was at the grocery store yesterday, not buying conditioner instead of shampoo, and I noticed another one of these weird things that we as human beings do. But first, let's go to your comments. We've got reactions. By the way, I realize sometimes that I miss critical ones. When I check in like this, I'll see a few, I'll comment on them, but the ones I really needed to see were right here, and I didn't get to them. And I see when I'm watching back that, oh, that could have changed the whole course of the show if I had just been paying attention and seen that one comment. I can't tell you how many times seeing a comment like that would have prevented me from going down a ridiculous path for no good reason because I misunderstood something or missed something important. Anyway, I was at the store, and I realized that we as human beings, we apologize for the goofiest things, and the grocery store is one of the main ones. At the grocery store, we often apologize basically for existing. If you're moving your cart out of the aisle and somebody else is coming in, you always say sorry. Oh, sorry, 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 sorry. I was so out of bounds. I should never have been on this side of the aisle. I should never have been walking. I obviously should have known you were coming. I am so remorseful right now. I am begging your forgiveness. Please, please. Because look, I've got groceries to buy. I cannot go through my day with this in my head because I have violated your space in such a horrible way. I didn't say all those words, but you know, that's all summed up in that. Sorry. Sorry? It's the goofiest thing ever. So you know what I've started doing when I do that? When I go out in front, I just go, I'm not sorry. I just say that to everyone, and then they know, right, that I'm empowered. Who am I? Well, I'm Bob Doyle. I'm the host of this show. Don't forget to subscribe. If you're joining us live for the first time, you're going, who put what? Or something along those lines. Well, I don't know what to tell you. But it's obvious that I need caffeine. Now, here's the problem with this whole field trip. I won't be able to see your comments. I mean, you know what? All right, I'm going to do this right. No, I'm not. I'm not going to be able to see your comments. All right, so that is bothersome to me for obvious reasons. But here's what we're going to do. I'm going to, as Sarah forecast early in this thread, we're going to my kitchen. Thank you. We're going to my kitchen via my phone camera. To do this requires that I'm on a wireless connection. Oh, shh. Let's switch over there now. Okay. So here's how this is going to work. We're on the mobile cam, and I have to look at you this way. It's not going to be... I don't know what it's going to be, guys. You know what? I've been putting this off for a really long time. So let's just try it and see what happens. Now, I've got a little tripod down there. Now, If all of this just goes to hell, I'll never know it until I get back. So let's just hope. I think the signal gets a little sketchy as I go down the stairs here, but hopefully in the kitchen we'll be okay. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna make a cup of coffee. That's right, but not just any coffee. It's what we in the biz like to call posh coffee, Leanne. And what makes it posh? Well, it's basically a cappuccino. It's not just regular coffee. So I have, for literally months, I've been wanting to do this ever since I got my first iteration of one of these things. Because they work so well, I wanted to show it off. And every time I've thought about doing it, I've thought, no, not today, kitchen's a mess, whatever. Today I said, we're doing it. So I'm not even sure exactly how it's gonna work, but we're just gonna try it. So let me turn the camera around first. This is our work area. We're not using this one. This is, I bought this from a dude in Marina Del Rey for like 30 bucks. Okay, so this is a not incredible, there's no bars of pressure. It's pure steam that does this. You don't get a great crema, but it does taste good. So that's where we're gonna make the coffee. One moment. So I'm gonna I don't know what happened there. I really hope we're back. So now I'm just trying to set this up in a way that we can kind of be in tutorial mode. Oh, I got one of those, you know, the tripods that grab onto stuff. All right, so we're gonna get the espresso ready, and then we're gonna move on to the milk phase. All right, so right now I'm using this, but any espresso blend will do. It must be an espresso blend. You're not putting ground, what are you doing? Trying to put full ground coffee in there. It's not gonna work. I happen to have a little spoon in here already, so I'm just gonna put a couple, and you know, I like to tamp this down, hold on. And since I don't have an official coffee tamper for this particular unit, I use the sea salt container, and it works great. So now I'm tamping this down. God, I hope we've still got a connection. All right, so that's going, or that's ready to go. Here's the mug, which I've talked about a lot. It's the perfect, I don't know if we're reversed or what the deal is, but it's perfect size for this. So I'm gonna take some, in this case, skim milk. Skim milk, you gotta get skim milk up in here. And I'm gonna put about this much in there, just over a quarter. Oh, aren't field trips fun, boys and girls? You had to get permission slips. Oh, by the way, I didn't pick up your permission slips, but please, let's do that. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and, oh, the other thing I do, so here's the little carafe that will receive the coffee. Since I do like mine sweet. Are we learning things, boys and girls? Or did you tune out forever ago? All right, I'm just gonna put a couple of spoons of sugar, you know, to help the medicine go down. And I'm gonna start this process, turning it on. It takes a few minutes. Now then, with this, let go, okay. Because we're not using steam, we gotta warm the milk. I do it for 35 seconds. But I wait to push the start button until the coffee starts dripping over here, so it times out about right. I've got a little laptop thing over here. It's very, very slow. I don't know if I can actually tune into this broadcast or not, but I'm gonna see if I can, to see if there's, well, if there is a broadcast. But this is so slow, it's painfully slow to go from page to page, so I'm not even sure it'll work. Yeah, I didn't think about this part. Okay, wait. Now you guys make a cow sound. Let's do it together. Who did it? Come on. Seriously, whoever's around, it doesn't matter. Just let's just make a cow sound together, okay? Are you ready? Now, how loud did you go? What I want is, I want you, if you have a phone right now where you can video yourself making the cow sound, I cannot get here. Boy, I really hope this isn't being lost in space, because I want you guys to do this. Video yourself watching me making the cow sound, and then you have to post it or something. You could share it in the Facebook page. Boy, this thing is slow. It's painfully slow. I did turn this on, didn't I? Oh, man. I did my classic blunder. And I'm wondering, now it's going to drive me crazy if any of you called it out early. What didn't I do, boys and girls? Well, I didn't see you put any water in the machine. That's right. Congratulations. You are very good. You passed my test. So now we're going to do it with water, because I find that the flavor is better. All right, so I've got it up to about the 2-ounce mark. Well, perhaps you hear that it's already hot in there. How did that happen? That added a little bit of time to the, now I have to, see, I had to get rid of that sugar. It seems, when I was a kid, like in 6th or 7th grade, it seemed like there was some sort of weird, and somebody back me up on this, I just turned it on again, some sort of weird sugar shortage, and the price of sugar was getting expensive? Is that right, or did I imagine that? Come on, you Facebook page. Scroll. Oh, it's just, I can smell the smoke. I shared a live video. Nope, that's not it. Oh wait, what am I doing? Why? You guys are probably yelling, why are you at Facebook? There's shows on YouTube, you idiot. Oh, we're having fun now. All right. Well, look, I knew it wasn't going to go great. That's not true. I didn't know it was not going to, I knew it wasn't going to go perfectly. That I did know. You know what? I didn't know that. I thought maybe, who knows, maybe it could happen. I sure wish I knew whether I was even broadcasting. This is maddening. It says live now, but do you see me? This would be really frustrating if, like, you heard me but didn't see me. I'm trying to go to it, trying to click it. Hold on, look. What do we got? Oh, come on, don't just be a blank screen. Looks like it's still loading. What is happening? The suspense, this is crazy. All right, well, meanwhile, I'm gonna go ahead and start the milk, since I spaced out. Oh wait, here we go. Something's happening. Something's spinning. Come on. Oh, this is more. This is what I use this computer to get my juice recipes. So it serves a purpose of any kind. It did not. Purpose. I don't think. All right, so we've got about 9 seconds left on this. All right, the coffee is ready. I have to, one of the other things I sometimes forget to do is stir the sugar so it dissolves fully. I've poured it in without stirring many times, and it's like, why isn't this sweet? Science is the answer. Okay, so now we've got the milk ready to froth. Now, I made a cup of this morning, and this did not behave like typical skim milk, which is usually much stiffer. It acted much more like cream, and it didn't behave as I thought. Now, this is a new hand blender, and I don't know whether if that's part of it or not, but normally this goes a lot quicker for me. It's still working. But I just have to find a new go half-ass on this. But it's also not the demonstration I was hoping for in terms of this blender thing. All right, anyway, so now you can see it's all the way up there to the top. And now I just pour it in. But it's the cream is way creamier than I'm wanting it to be. But all right, so that's it. Turning this off, putting this milk away, going back upstairs, and then we'll get back into the action. Won't that be fun? God, I hope there's action to get back into. This is the fun part. I finally get to discover whether or not you saw any of that. Oh my God. Okay. Live broadcasting, folks. Don't try this at home. Moment of truth. Hi. I see. Look, I'll show you. All right. Bye-bye. Okay. Turn this off because I think we're getting feedback. All right. Headphones. This is pretty cash, isn't it? Haven't even peeked at your comments yet. This could be fun. Oh, and my battery's about to die on my sound source. Let me change that. That's right. It's a good day to wear pants on the Bob Doyle Show. Okay, so what do we got? My kind of sugar. So see, I'm seeing that there are comments that would suggest that you saw me. It's still good. It's just not the cream. I don't know if you saw on my timeline that a while ago. That cup of coffee where the foam was poking out like an inch on the top. That was skim milk with a different frother. And it really whipped it good. All right, so now who has questions? Anyone questions about what coffee is, how you're supposed to drink it, why anyone would want to drink it, my first experience with coffee? Yeah, is that what you wanted to know? Okay, well, so my first experience with coffee, like how does a kid learn to drink coffee? I'll tell you. Went over to a friend's house, spent the night, next morning, the mom made coffee, or what, it was coffee with like this much coffee, this much milk, and a lot of sugar. And I'm like, oh, this coffee is like dessert. I love this. And that's how it started. Now, Steve, hold on. I'm gonna bring this full out into the public. By the way, I also realized if I just had this monitor above this monitor, I wouldn't have to do this all the time. And things would be much more fluid. But I mean, it's easier said than done. That's just not how this desk is built. So, you know, instead of telling me obvious stuff, but my laptop is dusty. Yeah, okay. I live in the desert. Okay. By the way, Echo, what's the forecast?
Currently, in Las Vegas, it's 89 degrees Fahrenheit with clear skies and sun. Today, you can expect mostly sunny weather, with a high of 100 degrees and a low of 74 degrees.
Piece of cake. 100, it's nothing. Last week we had 107. When I went to the grocery store yesterday and I came out, it was like 99 degrees. It didn't feel like it. It felt like in Atlanta, like an 80-something. I'm telling you. If you don't, everyone told me, it's only a few months a year. It's not that bad. I'm like, 115? What are you, nuts? It's not that bad. All right, so just a reminder, ladies and gentlemen, that we are on an ongoing call for content on this show. Now, Leanne, who's watching right now, has already submitted a little something, a little creative something that she has done that we're going to share on this show. That's right. And I've decided I want to do it like this with the creators who create things. I want to share whatever it is, if it's a video, if it's a picture, if it's a whatever, and then I want to bring them in on a conversation, right? And we have like a little, as we truly have like a spotlight situation. I think that would be great. So we're going to do that. So just calling out to all of you again, if you've got something that you want to share through the Bob Doyle Show, remember that this is a community type of show, and that's what we're trying to build here, and this is how I'm going to talk for the rest of the day, and in fact, I'm going to keep doing this just to get some... That actually feels pretty good. I don't know if you've ever done like an exercise tape or a program or anything like that where you're being guided to do head rolls, right? And whenever you do that, don't you always go, oh my God, this feels so good. Why don't I always do this? I could do this whenever I wanted to. I don't have to just do this in a class. I can, whenever I want. And then we never do it. And then we go back to the class. And it's like, oh, yeah, that's right. Oh, I could whenever I want. Am I the only one? I don't think I am. I don't think I am. And you guys don't know. Even if none of you are that, it doesn't mean there's not others like me. But the most wonderful thing about Tiggers is I'm the only one. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. The other thing I noticed at the grocery store, and I don't know why this bugs me, but it does. But you know how grapes, we all on the same page? We know what grapes are, right? Oh, I forgot about this. I've been meaning to do this the whole time. Just to put a little balanced living challenge into your day without, being overt about it. And let's watch it one more time. Just, a little, just a little, that's not quite right, right? Like you can't unsee this. Nah, I didn't make it too big, just enough to get in your head and grow like a tree. One more time. Grapes. Am I right? And whenever you go buy them, you know how they're like in Ziploc type bags where they have, they're in bags. A lot of the times they're in the bags, but like almost 100% of the time, the bags are open, right? They're not zipped shut. And for whatever reason, that just bugs me. It's like, now, look, because I'm aware that produce in general is out. So it's not about, there's no logic about having a problem with exposure. Plus, a lot of those grape bags, they have holes in them anyway. But there's just something that annoys me about, maybe it's just because it's like, come on, guys. At least zip it up. That's right. I just spoon-fed that one to you. With space on both sides. Thank you. But seriously, it's just like if I can find one where it's closed, I'll get that one. And a lot of times it's just because, the Ziplocs they're flimsy. They just don't stay shut, but it still bugs me. Anyone else? What's corny? Wait a minute. Look, there's a lot that can be, there's a lot of words that can be used to describe this show. I wish I knew even 12. But I mean, if the cereal box was open, Bob, that's totally different. It needs to stay fresh and all that. All right, but I think I could find other examples of like if it was just, you don't want an open bag of stuff. I don't. But even worse, the worst is the rotisserie chicken. When that doesn't always happen. But sometimes when you just pick it up, the weight of the chicken splits it open. I don't like that. I want it to stay closed because those things drip. Who hasn't had that happen, ladies and gentlemen? Rotisserie chicken, it's so delicious, but oh, the juices, am I right, ladies and gentlemen? Okay, well, we did it again. I know a lot of that time was spent in the kitchen, and I can't wait to see what happens when I know I lost the camera there for a minute. Anyway, you guys have been great, and don't forget, if you haven't already, subscribe. Actually, just subscribe once. That's all you need to do. But you could get 3 friends to help you with the subscribing thing. Have a great day.
It's the Bob Doyle Show. It's the Bob